distance from their Arab neighbors. Chronicling the turbulent story of the struggle for a Palestinian homeland. PLO, History of a Revolution, at this time on Al Jazeera.
The man who's never shown his face to the world is going to give Al Jazeera his first ever media interview. It's not the lack of African men and women willing to work for peace in their continent that was behind the setbacks of their mission. Just 2 days ago, the Interior Minister said these suicide bombers are on the run and have no control over where and when to attack. A powerful tribe that can still fight and show its might has decided to opt for peace. Mohammed Fan, Al Jazeera.
خلي لي اياكي يا امي، خلي لي اياكي.
انا صوتك سمعته ونسمعتك شو حاسه فيها يا عمري انت.
الكل عم يسلموا عليكي وبيعيدوكي يا امي.
There are no people in the world wish their mothers a happy Mother's Day the way we do. Nobody but us. I don't think anybody in this world lives the same way we do.
They call this place the Shouting Valley, a remote spot in the Golan Heights, where Syrians go to see their family and friends across the divide. From the Syrian side, they look across the valley to the Israeli-occupied part of the Golan Heights. Separating the two sides is a fence, coils of razor wire, and a minefield, symbols of the continued political hostility between Syria and Israel. Israel captured the Golan Heights during the Six-Day War in 1967. Most of the Syrian inhabitants fled or were driven from their homes when Israeli forces swept through the hills. Over 100 Syrian villages were razed to the ground and cleared without trace. Only 5 villages remain to this day, with some 20,000 Syrian Arab inhabitants. Across the valley, families and friends, separated since 1967, can shout and wave at each other, so close and yet so far. Nowadays, the telephone can take the place of the megaphone.
الو ايوه بيه هلا مساء الخير كيفك يا بنتي يا ربيع كيفك الحمد لله
كيف صحتك مشتاقت لك كثير
Rabia Monza, in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights, can telephone her father, who lives in the Syrian capital, Damascus.
كلهم بخير يا بيي بيسلموا عليك
كيف امي منيحه كيف صحتها طمني
شو مساعيكم مشان
Ghaleb Monza was born in the Golan, but was in Damascus when the 1967 war broke out. He was never able to return home and was separated from his parents, who suddenly found themselves under Israeli control.
I used to stay at home in the Golan Heights and drive to Damascus in the morning, then go to work. That shows you how close it is. In 1967, my daughter Rabia was born.
Rabia was born and raised in Damascus, where she met her future husband Nasser. Nasser studied in Damascus, but had to return to the Golan after graduating. At first, he couldn't take his wife with him. 5 years passed before the Israeli authorities permitted Rabia to join her husband in the Golan. But it was a one-way ticket. Joining Nasser meant Rabia had to leave behind her mother and father on the Syrian side. She knew she would not be able to return. Rabia crossed over in 1987. The family caught the emotional crossing on video.
In 1987, Rabia got the permission to join her husband. We went to the border checkpoints. I entered the UN checkpoint with my daughter, with my wife and my nieces.
اثنين يعني اخته للعريس بنت عمي الثاني.
The groom came by himself. They just wanted me to give him my daughter and leave. I refused. I requested for his parents to be with him, and they came.
الأماني قول دخلوهم اجوا. بنت أخي صار لها من سنة 67 وقبل مو شايفة أمها وأبوها. والمسافة بيننا وبين أمها وأبوها.
My niece had not seen her parents since 1967. She was standing only 6 meters away, but the soldiers didn't let her go to her parents. She fainted, she fell down.
تغمى بتقع بالأرض وقعت، يعني غط على قلبها ووقعت بالأرض، ما كانوا يخلوها تسلم على أهلها.
Rabia and Nasser now have a family of their own. Although the barriers keep Rabia separated from her parents, on special occasions she arranges to see them across the shouting valley.
اجا ابني طبعا خلق ابني كمان اهلي ما عرفوش انه اجاني ولد لبعدين.
40 days after the birth of my son, I took him to the Crying Valley so my family could see him through binoculars.
خيي الصغير.
My little brother told my mom that he wanted to eat carrots to have better vision so he could see me and my son better.
انه جزر انه بخليه يشوف.
مضت فترة من سنة 87 ل 97.
We didn't see our daughter and her family for 10 years, from 1987 to 1997.
The peace agreement between Israel and Jordan gave separated families from the Golan the opportunity to meet. Families from the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights could obtain special travel permits to go to Jordan, where they arranged to meet with family members coming from Syria. Rabia has vivid memories of the day she met her parents in Jordan.
ريحة أمي مشتاقة لها، يعني مشتاقة لبيي، مشتاقة لأمي، مشتاقة لأخواتي يعني.
I miss my mom, I miss my dad, I miss their sense. It's been very difficult. That day in Jordan, I didn't want to sleep because if I slept, I will not see my family. I just wanted to keep seeing them. Sleeping wasn't important. I wanted to see them by me all the time. I wanted to kiss and smell my mom's hands. Even my dialect, even that has been changed. My sisters tell me that. You even feel like a stranger within your own family.
Rabia's story is typical of the separation and sadness experienced by many Syrian Arab families divided by the front line in the Golan Heights.
I want to go home. I want to go to my house in Damascus to see my room, my neighborhood, my friends. On Mother's Day, it's my right as a human being to be able to see my mom, to even just wish her Happy Mother's Day.
هي صار لك 20 سنة غايبة عن البيت ما دعستي